The easiest thing was the support we had from Unlimited, from them planning all of the kind of schedule of things that we'll be doing across the few days. The difficult part was access. Different city, different country, different attitudes.
When you work internationally, you have to be open to new working cultures, new processes, and new ways of managing time. Because you'll find that in other countries they have a different expectation as to how fast something might happen or how short notice they might let you know if something can happen. And so in the UK it's quite normal for things to evolve and go back and forth very gently for a number of months before a decision is made as to whether to go ahead. Within China, it's a much more concise and abrupt and brief process. So meetings are very efficiently run and decisions are made a much more closer time to when the event or the artwork will be in stores.
Yeah, there can be a lot of challenges. Firstly, one of them is how you can offer access in an artistic way. So, for example, my performance, Scored in Silence, it has BSL and visual vernacular and movement and a voiceover and audio description, so there's a lot of access elements. But this is all provided usually in English or BSL. So, for example, last year I was in Germany showing the piece, and Germany's got its own spoken language, and they wanted it to be performed in international sign language. So I learnt it in international sign to perform it. Then we had the voiceover in English, which was fine. And then we also had some German audio description. And we had English captions and German captions shown at the same time. And I think this was a really good artistic access offer, and it's nice to provide that for the audience. And it was a really good challenge for me. And it was a really good high level, and it meant that myself and the organisation were learning together.
So basically, if you need the support, you got to ask yourself. You got to be active, proactive.
Working internationally, particularly coming out of the pandemic, initially all the contact is remote through very small screens, and to create close partnership, close bond through remote, working can be very challenging. So we had to create space for lots of open and long creative conversations, and to develop a technique where we began to exchange ideas and pictures and videos through WhatsApp and through social media, and to work in a very flexible and free way. When we eventually had the opportunity to meet in person, thanks to Unlimited funding, that was really incredible. To be in the studio finally after 2 years of talking was a really beautiful moment. But it's really challenging to create that connection through online working, and to use as many different ways and things like Pinterest boards and so on. With a place like China, which had a very different social media system, and there were barriers there, so we had to find ways to get around that to make sure that we could keep the connection going.